Taylor Swift is the favorite to appear on Barcelona's jersey during El Clásico match.
Taylor Swift and Barcelona. Now that's a crossover nobody saw coming, but it's happening. The buzz is real as insiders spill that Barcelona is on the verge of sealing a deal that would put Swift's name front and center on their jerseys for the legendary El Clásico against Real Madrid this May. The club's Spotify partnership has already blurred the lines between football and music, and now the reigning queen of pop might just be the latest megastar to grace the pitch, not with a mic, but on one of the most iconic kits in the game. With only a few details left to finalize, the move would place Swift in elite company alongside the likes of Drake, Coldplay, and the Rolling Stones, all of whom have had their emblems on Barcelona shirts thanks to this unconventional sponsorship. But this one comes with an extra dose of irony. Just last year, Swift lit up Real Madrid's own Santiago Bernabéu stadium with her concert, and now she's poised to stand with their biggest rivals. It's a marketing masterpiece, merging music, football, and global fandom into one unstoppable force. Given that Swift dominated Spotify streams in 2024, beating out heavyweights like Ed Sheeran and Travis Scott, her inclusion makes perfect sense. This isn't just about jerseys, it's about pulling in new audiences who might not care about La Liga, but would absolutely tune in to see their idol's name under those stadium lights. With the title race heating up, this El Clásico has just got even bigger. And speaking of Taylor making headlines, the Swiftie universe is currently in full detective mode again. This time it's all about Travis and what fans swear is some very suspicious behavior during his latest podcast episode. Now, Travis might be an NFL star, but when it comes to dodging Swiftie scrutiny, he's playing in the wrong league. These fans can spot a clue from a mile away, and they're convinced Taylor was secretly present while he was recording. While the football world takes a breather in the off-season, Travis has been keeping busy with his podcast New Heights, which he co-hosts with his brother Jason. But in a recent episode, something, or someone, was clearly distracting him. Insiders say his usual laid-back energy seemed slightly off, and he had what fans are calling his signature Taylor eyes throughout the recording. Now let's be real, if Travis ever gets his own emoji, it's probably going to be a pair of side-glancing eyes with little hearts. Things took a turn when his mic appeared to move on its own, and his reaction was priceless. Was it just a technical glitch, a rogue draft, or was Taylor herself playing invisible pranks from just out of frame? The Swiftie jury has already delivered their verdict, and here's where things get even more interesting. Every episode of New Heights goes through an editing process before being released. So, the fact that this moment wasn't cut out? Yeah, fans are taking that as a wink-wink, nudge-nudge hint that something is brewing. Could Taylor be planning a surprise appearance on the podcast? New Heights has already had some big-name guests, so it's not impossible. But if she does pop up, one thing's for sure, Swifties will treat that episode like the Super Bowl. And if a possible Taylor Swift podcast cameo wasn't enough to send fans spiraling, the latest buzz around her and Travis Kelce has them practically writing wedding vows. While Swifties were busy analyzing every frame of New Heights for hidden Easter eggs, insiders were whispering about a whole new level of commitment, house hunting. But not just any house, oh no. The power couple is reportedly eyeing a retreat in Montana, the land of cowboys, endless skies, and exactly zero paparazzi hiding behind dumpsters. Now let's put this in perspective. Between Travis's Kansas City mansion and Taylor's New York townhouse, those two aren't exactly suffering for space. But apparently, neither of these homes screams forever quite like the wild open landscapes of Montana. According to insiders, the duo has fallen hard for the peace and quiet, the lack of camera flashes, and of course the top-tier food, because what's a love story without a solid meal plan? Their recent visit to the Auric Room, an ultra-exclusive speakeasy in Lone Mountain Ranch, had all the makings of a rom-com moment. Picture it. Candlelight, rustic charm, and Travis possibly attempting to cut his steak while Taylor hums a melody that'll probably turn into the next Grammy-winning hit. Locals describe the vibe as intimate and totally off the grid. Basically, the complete opposite of their usual red carpet chaos. No bodyguards acting like overprotective ants. No Hollywood-level glam squad. Just a couple, their friends, and a cozy night out that screamed, "We are dangerously close to getting a golden retriever and calling it a day." And of course, nothing says engagement rumors like a romantic escape to a place where you can't hear the sound of paparazzi shutters. Insiders claim Montana gives them a rare taste of normalcy, and they can totally see themselves settling down there. Whether that means wedding bells or just a place to escape the madness, one thing is certain, this couple is getting serious, and Swifties are already mentally decorating their potential Montana cabin. And speaking of love stories that have Swifties in a frenzy, Taylor Swift isn't just dropping hints about Montana getaways, she's dropping names too. Enter Lucy Dacus, the latest member of the exclusive Mentioned by Taylor Club, an elite society of people whose lives change overnight because Swift decided their name sounded good in a lyric. Sources say Lucy was given the heads up before the Tortured Poets department hit the airwaves, but even a personal text from Taylor doesn't quite prepare you for hearing your name crooned in a song that half the planet will be analyzing like it's a college thesis. Lucy, of course, took it all in stride, because when Taylor Swift asks to use your name, the only correct answer is, "Yes, ma'am, and would you like my social security number too?" The track in question, rumored to be about Maddie Healy, because apparently 2023 wasn't dramatic enough, features a lyric referencing a conversation where Lucy's name came up. And honestly, who knew Taylor's group chats were this intense? While some people are texting their friends about what to order for dinner, Taylor's casually name-dropping people into lyrical history. And let's just take a moment to appreciate how Lucy reacted. Instead of spiraling into existential dread upon hearing her name immortalized in a song destined for Grammys, she sat down and processed it like a champ. Imagine playing an album, vibing along, and then boom, there's your name. Most people would immediately pause the track, text everyone they know, and possibly reconsider their entire existence. But Lucy? She took a deep breath, had a moment, and then probably just carried on being effortlessly cool. Of course, the song is just one of many on an album that should probably come with a warning label, may cause overthinking about your past relationships. Swift's poetic dissection of heartbreak, cryptic references, and dramatic storytelling has already sent the internet into a Sherlock Holmes-level investigation. And with tracks that supposedly allude to Maddie Healy, Joe Alwyn, and possibly even a typewriter, fans are piecing together the emotional roller coaster of Taylor's love life like it's the Da Vinci Code. But really, the biggest takeaway here? If Taylor Swift ever asks for permission to use your name in a song, clear your schedule, because your life is about to get significantly more interesting, and your DMs? Yeah, they're about to explode. And speaking of names that carry weight, Taylor Swift just got an endorsement that might be bigger than a Grammy, because when Alex Rodriguez, a man who spent his life knocking home runs out of the park, says you're the greatest performer of all time, that's not just a compliment, that's a career milestone. Forget chart-topping albums and sold-out stadiums. Swift has now conquered the world of baseball legends. Next thing you know, she'll be rewriting the rules of the sport itself. Bases Loaded will be a metaphor for her next breakup anthem. A-Rod, who knows a thing or two about superstardom, made it clear that he's all in on the Taylor Swift phenomenon. And honestly, who isn't at this point? The man who once dominated Yankee Stadium is now singing the praises of the woman who dominates entire continents with her world tours. He even made sure to throw in a nod to her equally famous boyfriend Travis Kelce, proving that this couple is now less of a relationship and more of a full-fledged global empire. Rodriguez didn't just stop at saying Taylor is the GOAT of performing. He went full sports analyst mode, breaking down why the Kelce-Swift power duo is fascinating to watch. He compared Travis to a titan, which is fitting because between his NFL career and his off-the-field media domination, the man is basically Hercules in cleats. At this rate, if Travis ever decides to leave football, he might just take over Broadway with Taylor. Imagine the two of them starring in Romeo and Juliet, except in this version, Juliet has multiple Grammy Awards and Romeo has 3 Super Bowl rings. And while A-Rod was clearly in awe of Swift and Kelce, he had just as much admiration for Travis's brother Jason and his wife Kylie. He called them content creators, which is hilarious because once upon a time football players just played football. Now they're running media empires, hosting top-tier podcasts, and apparently giving business moguls like A-Rod a run for their money. Rodriguez even admitted that if anyone should be giving advice, it's the Kelce brothers to him. The same guy who played 22 seasons of professional baseball, racked up a $250 million contract, and has been a staple of sports media for decades, is now asking an offensive lineman and his TikTok-famous brother for career tips. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.